Hello, welcome back. I am Squawker Dave, back on Full Time Devils today. We're trying something new. This is the full-time review where we dive into everything in the Manchester United world post-game. Let me know what you what you think of this video below. Comment in, what did you enjoy, what did you hate? But lucky, don't worry fans, the 3-point review is going to be slid in there at some point, so get ready for it. Let's talk about the result quickly. Manchester United beating Manchester City 1-0 in the Premier League. The game settled by a fantastic Marcus Rashford strike. Rashford becomes the youngest ever goal scorer in the Manchester derby in Premier League history. Let's quickly look at the table. Manchester United are sitting in 6th position, but only 1 point behind Manchester City, who are currently holding on to that Champions League spot. Hopefully, if United can continue their form in the next few weeks and push on and really try and challenge City for the Champions League spot. Right, we've discussed the result. Let's jump into the 3-point review. On to number 1. Let's talk about Manchester City. Yes, this is a Manchester United fan channel, but it's quite interesting to dive into Manchester City at the moment. Since Pep Guardiola was announced to be their next manager, City have only won 4 out of 11 games. Obviously, crucially, Man United beat them 1-0 in the big derby. It's interesting to see some of these City players. They're playing for their future, but they just don't look bothered. Yaya Toure again with a pretty poor performance. Navas not playing very well, Sterling being quite poor, Silva in there. So it's quite interesting to see City this summer. They're going to need a massive overhaul. They spent so much money last year, the signings of Sterling for 50 million, De Bruyne for about 75 million, and Di Michaelis, the most expensive defender to ever leave La Liga. But I feel in the summer they need massive reinforcement, similar to Manchester United. It's going to be quite interesting in the market. You'd say both teams need to sign 2 centre-backs, probably need to sign a right winger in both sides. Probably 2 central midfielders, so there's going to be a lot of battles going on in the transfer window between the big clubs. But let's go to the game. The selection from Pellegrini was very interesting. He went again with Fernandinho and Yaya Toure in central midfield in a big game in the Premier League. For me, it's absolutely ludicrous. You're lacking a natural holder there. Both Fernandinho and Yaya Toure are ball players that want to take the ball and want to sort of play a box-to-box role, but dictating the play, sort of a floating, roaming playmaker, which completely left City exposed in front of the back 4. Fernando came on after about 26 minutes for Raheem Sterling. Obviously, he went off with a groin injury, but before that, United absolutely killed City on the counter-attack. The space in front of City's back 4 was absolutely massive. And you see for the first goal that United perfectly used that well. Obviously, Juan Mata picking the ball up, a cheeky little 1-2 of Morgan Schneider, completely bypassing the whole City midfield and getting onto that City back 4. One simple pass into the feet of Rashford. Rashford did Di Michaelis, and then the rest is history. A brilliant finish from the young lad. But what's quite interesting that happened time and again in the first sort of 26 minutes of the game when City didn't have that natural holder. Completely negated that when Fernando came on and was partnered with Fernandinho and Yaya Toure being pushed on. Manchester United's effectiveness in the final third completely died. But it's just interesting to see Pellegrini again got his selection wrong. City's record against the top 6 in the Premier League this season has been absolutely atrocious. Lost 6 games and drawn 3 in the 9 games that they've played. So Pellegrini is going out on an absolute low. After winning the League Cup, it looks like they're going to be struggling for the race for the top 4, but good stuff from Manchester United again, capitalising on a Manchester City tactical weakness. On to number 2, the midfield balance. Hopefully we've got it right. We saw in the Europa League that Van Gaal went with Michael Carrick holding, and then Lingard and Fellaini in front of Carrick. It's quite interesting. It didn't work the worst. The runners weren't getting trapped from midfield, so we needed another defensive player in there. Marouane Fellaini was caught up the pitch too high at times, but I quite like Jess Lingard's attacking play against Liverpool. He was very direct. He pressed well, attempted a number of tackles, dribble past a number of opponents, and then Michael Carrick dictating in that game really well. And again, we saw that against Manchester City. Michael Carrick was phenomenal. His ability to play that forward pass into an attacking player and complete that pass and get the player turned is phenomenal. It's something that United have lacked this season when he's been out injured. I feel the midfield that we played against Manchester City had perfect balance. We have Morgan Schneider in there, playing that left sort of central midfield role, being able to press, being able to harry. He was man marking Yaya Toure at the start and then moved on to Fernandinho and did a great job pressing them and harrying them. And it also gave that cover for that left-hand side. I've said time and time again, we need some sort of defensive help for whoever the left midfielder is, because they like to attack more than they do defend, be it Martial, be it Memphis Depay. But what Morgan Schneider did, that shuttler role, covering that flank perfectly. With Jess Lingard next to him, the energy again was there, very direct. Jess Lingard, there was a few times before the Fernando introduction that Jess Lingard was ahead of steam, running at that City back 4, creating a brilliant chance for Anthony Martial, who got a great shot away at goal, but he gave that energy. And then Michael Carrick just bossing it, reading the game perfectly. The challenge he made on Wilfred Boney. to block a shot that was destined to go in was absolutely brilliant. It's great to have Carrick back in the side, but the midfield together, the three, they were brilliant, and I want to see that again. You know, the one holding with two in front of them, pressing the opposition and just, you know, holding the ball well. On to number 3, it's got to be one man, it's got to be the winner of the derby. That is Marcus Rashford. You know, the lad had 2 chances in the game, he'd got 2 shots away, but one of them was absolutely clinical. He created it himself, took Di Michaelis on, sat him on his arse and put the ball away. Brilliant, you know, an Henry finish, opened himself up, sliding it past the goalkeeper, and it's just great to see Marcus Rashford, you know, a United youth player coming through that is probably the best of this next sort of generation. You know, going back to the UEFA Youth League game against Wolfsburg, I watched the game on BT Sport, and luckily enough, he was the standout player there. The rest of the team weren't too good, but he pressed, he harried, he took people on, and we're seeing that in the Premier League. It's really, really phenomenal how he can take this sort of form at under 18s level and convert it in the Premier League. You know, scored 3 massive goals for the race for the top 4, 2 coming against Arsenal and 1 against Manchester City. It's going to be absolutely crucial to sort of keep him fresh. I think we should potentially rest him in the next game, give him a little bit off, because he's 7 games in a row now. The lad's 18, he obviously took his goal very well, but he was cramping up at the end. That run on, was it 95 minutes down the flank to win a corner after going down with cramp, that shows his determination, it shows his fight. The stats reflect that. You know, he attempted 3 tackles in the game, winning 66% of them. It just shows that he harries. He sort of doesn't let the defence have a moment's respite. It's really good to see a forward that does that, works very, very hard. Something that he could work on potentially is his sort of his decision making when he has the ball at his feet. He attempted 10 take-ons in the game, and the only one he completed was when Di Michaelis was put on his arse. So if he's a little bit, you know, more careful with the ball, maybe retains the possession, comes back a little bit more, that could be quite good, but he's got to keep that youthful exuberance of taking people on and going at them, which is obviously good to see with his pace. Really good. If he gets in behind you, you ain't going to stop him and he can finish. We've seen that in the games that he's played in the penalty area. He is absolutely lethal. Well, now it's time to see what you had to say on Twitter. It's now time for your 3-word reviews. Right, let's hear Charlie's view. It's that time. It's time for Charlie's Chatter.
Thanks, Dave. Today I've got 2 things to talk to you about. One, Gonzalo Higuain, and the other is the youth products at Manchester United. Gonzalo Higuain has scored 29 Serie A goals in 30 games this year for Napoli. He scored 2 in Napoli's 3-1 win over Genoa at the weekend. He's the highest league goal scorer in Europe, ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo. So Rashford scored at the weekend, and he is one of many great young players that we've got at Manchester United at the moment. What I love about Pereira is his technical ability and how well he is with the ball. He is also currently on one of the lists to go with Brazil to play in their Olympic team this summer. Will Keane was on loan at Preston North End at the start of the season, but was recalled on the 31st of December in 2015. Since then, this year, he has gone on to make 1 appearance for the first team, but unfortunately injuring himself. What I love about Will Keane is the fact that he has got such predatorial ability, and I can see him being one of Manchester United's main strikers in the future. Fosu Mensah is an incredible central defender and central midfielder. He's strong, he's tall, he's good in the air, everything that you want in a holding midfielder and centre-back. I cannot wait to see him in the future, because right now he looks like the next Rio Ferdinand. So those are 3 players that I would like to see in the first team alongside Marcus Rashford. Over to you, Dave.
Well, thanks, Charlie. That was absolutely brilliant, but that's been it today. Full-time review over. Remember, if you like the video, click on the little thumb, give it an up, and subscribe to Full Time Devils if you're new. Go and check me out on Twitter @SquawkerDave. I love dropping the stat bombs from time to time. Till next time.
Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough. This is MUFC Daily. It's Monday morning, but I don't care this morning because Manchester is, of course, red.